Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Konstantin, and today we will be talking about the aligner production automation. Before we start, let me quickly review the agenda. The topics that we'll be discussing today are the following. I'm going to talk a little bit about the company. I'm going to review the aligner production process in general. Then we will talk about the automation goals. When do you need the automation? Why do you need it? And then I will describe the equipment, the benefit, the costs, and also we will talk about the de.exceed premium features, and then we will move to the Q&A session. So this is the plan for today. Let's begin. de.exceed is the company that provides the treatment planning mostly for the aligner production, and also we help to launch the aligner brands. We have the customer portal, we have the case management system, and we also help with the marketing part of the business. But the main thing that we do is the treatment planning. And the software that we use for the planning is our software. So far we have delivered 200,000 plans since 2015, and every plan that we post is verified by the supervisor orthodontist. The workflow is the following. You upload the records, we create the virtual setup, the simulation, so you can approve it or revise it, and after you approve it, you receive not the produced aligners, but the set of the 3D files for your 3D printers, so you can fabricate the aligners yourself for your patients, for your customers, and therefore make money on the production part of the aligner treatment as well. So the aligner production process as we know it nowadays is the following. Start with the treatment planning, then after the approval we generate the files according to the needs of the customer. It could be a hollow model, the solid model, vertical printing, horizontal printing, supports, everything that you need to have in terms of the 3D printing. Then you vacuum form your models, trim them, polish them, and package them. So there are a lot of talks about the direct printing of aligners. I've been hearing these ideas since 2017, and so far the technology is there, but it's not really clinically tested. Therefore, we are reviewing the traditional aligner production process the way it is right now, and we are trying to understand what parts of the process we can automate in order to save money, time, and to gain the other benefits that we will be discussing a little bit later. So let's talk about the goals of automation, why you actually need that. First of all, you want to reduce your labor costs. This is obvious. Salaries, taxes, medical insurances are expensive, especially if you are operating in the Western hemisphere of the world. But also you want to increase your production efficiency, so you want to produce more aligner units within the same period of time. You want to reduce your production costs, so use your materials more efficiently. And of course you want to have your quality consistent and limit the human errors. So those are the automation goals. And if you want to understand when we need the automation, usually it starts when you start produce more and more aligners. So the high volume is definitely a precondition for the automation implementation. And also if you have the expensive labor force, or it's hard to find the skilled dental technician or any kind of dental technician, it also makes sense to implement some of the automation techniques. So you have more machines and less people working for you, and that will also allow to reduce the level of the manual mistakes, because mistakes happen, and the only way to deal with that is to automate as many processes as you can. Also, if you have high competition in your area, if you have some international players, implementing automation is something that definitely needs to be considered, because it will allow you to stay on the same level of the service, the quality, and the margin with the other players in your field. So we are going to be discussing the following modules: the multiple vacuum forming, the rolls cutting, laser engraving, automated trimming and automated polishing, and the packaging. So these are the modules that we will have in today's presentation. So let's begin with the vacuum forming. Before we go to the multiple vacuum forming, let me quickly review the single vacuum forming. As you can see on the screen, here is the BioStar device from Scheudenthal, but you also have some other options like Druformat by Dreve, Ercoform by Ercodent, and those are devices very familiar to all of you, I'm sure. Usually every dental practice, every dental lab has some of them, and this is where you start. So you have the platform, you have the model, you have the aligner foil, and then you vacuum form one aligner at the time. So this is the essence of the single vacuum forming, and the multiple vacuum forming is the process when you have not one model on the platform, but many of them. So on the screen you can see the multiple vacuum forming device from Hammer, Spain. And as you can see, it's the very advanced piece of machinery that uses the aligner material rolls. So on the left, this circle, purple thing is the aligner material. And this is where you actually can save money. So those are the types of the Hammer machines. But the pros of this module are the following. So you can save money on the aligner materials by purchasing not the retail aligner foils, but purchasing the big rolls of aligner materials. So when you do it this way, you save up to €1 per aligner when you use the multi-layer PTU materials. When you use the more affordable PTEG single layer materials, the economy is not that significant, but still there is some. But if you want to get the maximum out of this module, you might want to use the multi-layer PTU ones. Also, this technique frees up to 8 people. So instead of 8 people having models vacuum formed, you can have just one person. And by doing that, you can vacuum form up to 800 models per hour, which is very, very a lot. So there are some disadvantages of this method, of course, and the first one is the price. These machines are very expensive. So the Hammer TVP 120 starts from 150,000 euros, and TVP 250 goes up to the 230,000 euros. And those are just machines without any integrations. So if you want them to be integrated into your other processes with your other machines or softwares, it's going to cost you even more. And also these machines are heavy, you need some space for them. And in order to get your money back, to make those machines profitable, you need to produce about 90,000 aligners per month, which is a lot. And if you only produce, let's say, 30,000 aligners per month, this equipment will only work for you about 4 hours a day, which is not a great workload for such an expensive equipment. So having said that, let's go back a little bit to the money savings aspect. As you remember, we said that buying the aligner materials in rolls, as you can see on the screen, will allow you to save up to €1 per aligner. But if you are not ready to purchase the multiple vacuum forming machine, you can still have that economy by cutting your aligner rolls into the circles and squares. So it will look just like a regular aligner foil. Let me just put the little video on the screen so you can see the process in action, and then we will talk about the benefits, process and technical specification. So as you can see on the video, this is the device that cuts the big rolls of aligner material into the squares. We use Biostar 120 millimeters, and by using this device we can cut up to 350 pieces per hour. The device is customly made for us, so you're not going to find it on the market. And one thing that you have to keep in mind when you actually cut these aligners, you need to vacuumly seal them. So because the materials that you use for the aligners are hygroscopic, and usually when you receive the retail aligner foil, like from Zenduro for example, it's also vacuumly sealed in order to protect it. So if you're not going to use these aligner rolls, the aligner circle right away, you need to vacuumly seal them. The price of this device is also, you can see it on the screen, it's 16,500 euros if you're going to purchase it from us. The shipping and the custom declaration is not included. Just feel free to contact us about this machine if you are interested. Let's move forward. On this slide you can see the technical specification. Pause the video if you are interested, and we are going to the next automation technique that we will be discussing today, laser engraving. So it is very important to have your aligners packed correctly. So you're not going to have aligner number 4 in the back of aligner number 6, because if you have that, it's gonna affect your treatment, it's gonna cause discomfort to the patient, and therefore you want to avoid that. So in order to do that, you have several techniques. For example, in 2020, I'm sorry, if you watch our webinar dedicated to the aligner production process, you can see that we're using these little steps as the attachments on the molar teeth. So when you vacuum form the aligner, you can have this step number as the attachment. Since that we have evolved, we are now using laser engraving. Let me put the video on the screen so you can see what we are talking about, and then we will describe the process, benefits, and technical specifications. As you can see, the laser engraving is the process of marking your aligners with the step number, case ID, or sometimes logo, and you need that in order to pack your aligners properly. So you don't want your aligners, the wrong aligner in the wrong bag, because in that case you can have some issues with the treatment, refinements, and also discomfort for the patient. And this is why it is very important to mark your aligners properly. We use the laser for marking the aligners. There are many machines available, 2 types of the lasers on the market at the moment. Fiber laser is more affordable, about 10,000 USD, but the marking are very bright and therefore visible on the teeth. And also you have the UV laser for 20,000 USD that make the marking less bright and therefore more preferable. When it comes to the information entry, we prefer using the 3D matrix. This is the 3D printed QR code that's being recognized by the camera, and the software sees the case number, the step number and the case ID right away. If you don't want to use the 3D matrix, you can also use the barcodes, and also you can actually manually enter the information that you want to engrave. But this is not something we recommend, because every time you have something manual, you can have some mistakes. By using this technique, you can mark up to 2,200 aligners per 12-hour work shift. And if you want to purchase this module from Exceed, it will cost about 15,600 euros. Again, No shipping, no custom declaration. This is just a laser, camera, and the software. Very important to mention that you also need this technique if you want to implement the automated polishing. And I will tell you why in a minute. But before I do so, let's quickly review the automated trimming module. Again, putting on the short video to illustrate the process. As you can see on the video, it is the custom-made device. Is not something you can buy again from the shelf. You can use some trimming devices available on the market, but we personally didn't have a good experience with that because it's very hard to actually integrate it with our particular production process. So this is why we have our automated trimming device done for us specifically. And the way it works, you just need the trimming line, and it's generated by de.exceed. So when we generate the files for the 3D printers, we also generate the txt file that contains the trimming line, so which is very convenient. All you need to do is just to have one operator that checks that the trimming line is correct, presses the button, and then the machine does the rest. We use the standard micromotor. I think it's done in South Korea, so this is the only part that you will be changing frequently. The rest is, it's very reliable. We use it every day for quite a long time already. And the benefit is also very significant. If you produce the aligners with this automated trimming device, you can produce about 600 aligners per 12 hours. Comparing with the manual process, it's about 70 aligners per 12 hours. So you can see it's almost 10 times more. But you also need to do some polishing. So 70 aligners for 12 hours, it's also already with the polishing. And 600 produced aligners with the trimming device, it's without polishing. So you will need also the automated polishing device. And I will talk about it a little bit later. The automated trimming machine, if you talk about the costs, will cost you about 18,000 euro, again, if you purchase it from us. Like I said, we were using, I think, the 5-axis machine. The reason that we didn't like it is the integration part was a bit difficult, and also you have to prepare the platform of several models for the automated trimming for the 5-axis. And here on the device that we use, as we saw, it's one model per platform, which is important when you want to automate this, also taking the model and putting it on the platform. This is the next step that we're going to implement, and it's much easier to automate one model per platform rather than have 12 mechanical hands taking the models and putting it on the platform. So having said that, the next module is the automated polishing. Again, putting on the video to illustrate my words. We use the standard tumbling machines. This is something that's being used in many industries. For example, the jewelry. The working principle is the following. You have some ceramic bowls with added liquid. So you put the machine on, it starts spinning, and you throw in the aligners. It takes about 15 minutes, and it polishes 50 aligners at the same time. So if you compare it with the manual process, also significant economy of time, 50 versus 3 aligners. So pretty significant time savings. But again, only works with the laser engraving module. So keep that in mind, because if you're not going to mark your aligners and just throw them into the tumbling machine, you're not going to be able to recognize which aligner steps you are holding in the hands right now. So having said that, let's proceed to the packaging. On the screen you see the process captured on the video, the way we do it with our production and our partners. For every case, for every Exceed case, we generate the information for the stickers, and this is very convenient. With the regular sticker printer, you can print out these stickers, put them into the on the liner bags, and this way it looks professional. You have your logo, you have the case ID, step number, patient's name, doctor's name, IPR if needed. So at the end of the day, it looks like this. So nice, neat, professional. And it also, according to our point of view, it's also a part of the production automation, because you print out the stickers, you put them, and you have the very nice product at the end of the day. So we have described all the modules, all the techniques, and let's just summarize everything that I said. On this table you can see the benefits. We have four modules. So the rolls cutting, trimming, laser engraving, and automated polishing. As you can see on the screen, you can save up to €1 by introducing the aligners foil cutting machine. Then you can produce 600 aligners per 12 hours by using the trimming device instead of 70 by doing it manually. Laser engraving allows you to mark your aligners to avoid mistakes, the packaging mistakes, but also it enables the automated polishing, and the automated polishing saves a lot of time on the polishing. So instead of 3 aligners within 15 minutes, you will have 50 aligners. So those are the benefits, both financial and not financial. Like I said, you also have the consistent quality, and also you save time, you increase the efficiency, everything that we were discussing at the beginning of this presentation. When it comes to the equipment and costs, like I said, the multiple vacuum forming units is not something that we use, but the price range is on the screen is starting from 150,000 euros and goes up to 300,000 euros. The aligner foils cutting machine costs 16,500 euros, and you can purchase it from Exceed. The milling device is 18,000 euros. Laser camera and software for the laser engraving is 15,600. And the polishing device is not something that we sell, but you can get it from company Avalon for about 10,000 euros. Look it up yourself. The prices for the Avalon may vary, so depending on the market and the land. So before we actually go to the Q&A, let me just quickly review the Exceed premium features. As you can see on the screen, this is the Exceed lab account. This is something that you need when you produce more than, let's say, 20 cases per month. This website, this system allows you to track your cases, to see the stages that your cases are on right now, what cases are being submitted by the doctor, what cases are being checked by us, which one were rejected by us, for example, due to the low quality of the scans, what cases are being produced, which one are being paid right now. So you can have different roles for different people, for your production team, for your accountants, for your sales managers, and also you can communicate directly with the doctor or with us using this interface. So it's very, very useful tool in order to manage your production, especially when you have a lot of cases in the pipeline. The second part of the Exceed premium package is the Exceed customer portal. So this is something that you need for your doctors, so they can upload the cases and communicate with us clinically. As you can see, it looks inside pretty generic. I mean, there is no site of Exceed or something. So when they log in, they simply can upload the cases. but the login page itself can be branded, so you can have your own logo, domain name, your name in the login page. So when your doctors, when your customers log in, they log in into your customer portal. It doesn't matter that there is Exceed staying behind. There is, like I said, no sign of Exceed. It's a pure private label operation for your customers. So this is the branding opportunities that you can have by using the Exceed Premium feature. Again, if you are interested, just book a call with me and I will present it more closely to you. The only thing that I wanted to mention before we actually go to the Q&A part is the Exceed doctor and patient mobile apps. Also something that you can brand according to your needs. And here at the app, doctors can do pretty much the same thing they can do on the web page of the customer portal. They can review the treatment plans, they can communicate with the clinical team, and also they can invite patients, so the patients can take the pictures of their teeth. There is an instruction how to take the picture, and it goes to the particular case, to the particular virtual setup, so the doctor can review the process and therefore reduce the control visits. So also very convenient thing, also something that you can use already, so you don't have to code it yourself, develop it yourself. It's there for you, so just feel free to ask me about the details and conditions. For the Q&A part, let me invite the Exceed co-founder, Mr. Vladimir Lutsenko, who is deeply involved into the production. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you watch this webinar in the record, just feel free to submit your questions to the comment sections of YouTube.
Okay, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Vladimir Lutsenko. I run a medium-sized aligner manufacturing company. So we got several questions and I try to answer. How many aligners do you produce? It's easy. We produce 45,000 aligners per month, and usually day by day we produce between 1 and up to 2,000 aligners. So the next questions, how many people's work for you? In the production side works around 80 employees. It's the total numbers, including the courier department, quality check departments. So the total around 80 people. The next questions, are there any not expensive multiple vacuum form options? Yes. To be honest, we tested only two multiple vacuum form devices in our production. This let's say something middle between Ministar and Hammer. We tested device from de.exceed. This is a German company. This device can suck 9 aligners per one shot. It's called V9, I think because of 9 aligners. So what I could say, we cannot use this device in our daily manufacturing because of after half an hour, it's after 10 or 15 shots, V9 became too hot. We cannot continue, so it's required 20-30 minutes rest, and only after that we can restart use the device. So in our case it doesn't work, but we use first generation of this device. As I saw in the last IDS exhibition, Drever launched the second version, which, according to their words, doesn't have such problems. So maybe you could try V9 second generation, but the first generation is not suitable for massive production. Also, we tested multiple vacuum form device from Italian company. This is Bart Medical. They also manufacture multiple vacuum form device which called B Pro. This device you can suck the same 9 aligners per one shot. One of the benefit of B Pro that B Pro can work with let's say standard rounded or square foils 125 or 120 millimeters. So it's good because compare with B Pro, Drever V9 use unique foils body, which pretty big square foil, roughly 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters. So if you use V9 by Drever, you definitely must use only Drever foils, which are not good, I think. B Pro is more universal. You can use rounded foils from any vendors. But let's say in our case it also doesn't work. We use this device around 4 months, and after 4 months we saw a lot of small technical problems for some part of the working platform. Device cannot produce enough pump, enough pressure. For some part of another part of the working tables are not heat enough. So that's after 4 months of different experiments, we stopped using this device. So it also doesn't work in massive production. This is my personal experience, and now we use mini stars because it's pretty simple device which works very well with massive manufacturing. So you just need 10 mini stars. That's it. So as I know and as I see in IDS, Forstadent also manufacture and produce multiple vacuum form device, but I didn't test it, so no experience. What materials do you use for foil liners? So I think you're interested in which type of foils we use. In my company, we produce two products, let's say basic, where we use standard PTG foils, and advanced product we use PTU multiple layer foils like Zindura. So for advanced aligners we use foils from Schoe Dental company. It's a German company. I think you can easily find them in internet. The foils called CA Pro 0.75 millimeters. So let's say it's cheaper than Zindura, but the quality, let's say, not so perfect like Zindura. So the flexibility is slightly less than Zindura, and the stressness also less than Zindura. So unfortunately, in my region, I cannot use Zindura because Zindura are not available in my region. We use only it's only one analog available. This is CA Pro. That's why we use CA Pro. For basic product, we use Bialon from Dreva company. This is standard PTG foils, maybe one of the softer around the analogs. Also 0.75 millimeters. Next questions. Do you use foils with protective films for aligners? Yes, we did use foils with protective film till 2023, but in this year we switched to foils without protective films. And for us it's let's say good step for improve aligners quality. Why we use foils without the films, protective films? The major reason that protective films has thickness roughly 0.1 millimeters. So 0.1 millimeters, let's say it's comparable distance with one aligner's movement, one-step movement. Let's say roughly one-step movement 0.25 millimeters, 0.1 this protective film thickness. It is only twice, 2 times less or 3 times less than one step. So it's add additional mistakes with the aligners. That's why now we prefer use foils without the protective films. Yes, it's let's say add to production department more strict requirements to models cleaning, but let's say it's doable. You just clean printed models better. Avoiding, let's say, stick any composite to the aligners. So that's I strictly recommend to use foils without protective films. So in the last questions which I got, what are the main benefits of production automatization? Look, for us it was a step-by-step process. We started with classic manual aligners manufacturing process, and during the growing we start implement step-by-step automatization in each aligner step production stages. So for us, main benefit is quality. That's to be honest, because in my region, labor cost is not so high like in US. So, but when you produce more than 40,000 aligners per month, each of them produce manually. People do mistakes, so that's it could be nightmare. That's why we use automatization to reduce number of mistakes, so in reduce number of customer claims. That's the main reason in my case. So no more questions today. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and see you next time. Bye.
So this was it. Once again, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. My name is Konstantin. If you have any more questions, you need some more information, you can always book a video call with me by going to our website exceed-ortho.com and clicking the book the demo button. And also there is a lot of information dedicated to the aligner production, treatment planning on their website, so feel free to check it out. My contact details are also on the screen. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.